Hi, my name is Jim and I was retired. I'm back from a week down in Florida and I was able to pack some sunshine in my overhead bags. I brought it back for a Super Bowl weekend. Go Eagles. I've been reading a lot about Secure 2.0, that huge retirement bill that was included in the omnibus bill passed at the last moments of the last Congress. In this video, I'm going to review 9 ways Secure 2.0 will change your retirement. And I'm going to include 3 for people who are currently saving for retirement, 3 for those approaching retirement, and 3 more for those like me who are in retirement. Stay tuned. Hey, before I begin, will you please like and subscribe to this channel? The more likes, the more subscriptions, the higher this will be in the search results. And I want to share some of the lessons learned in my early retirement. I'm now in year 7 and I'm a DIY retiree. I'm not selling a book or trying to sell you a plan. I'm just sharing advice. So please like and subscribe. Thank you. Now let's begin with 3 changes that affect those who are currently in the workforce saving for retirement. Now these will phase in over time as the law goes into effect and as plans change. Now beginning in 2025, employers must include an automatic enrollment for new employees in their retirement savings plans. Those are the 401ks or 403bs. It used to be, when I was young, you had to go and actively enroll in those plans when you were eligible. Then they made it easier, some plans, to enroll. And by 2025, plans must include this option. There's this exception for government plans to phase in after that, but mostly more people will have an automatic enrollment starting at 3% and working its way up to 10%. Now, you can always unelect and withdraw from the enrollment, but starting out, employees will have to be automatically enrolled in the plans, and that means more people will be saving for retirement. The second major change for current workers is there are many more Roth options. Now, 401k is pre-tax dollars, and you get a tax deduction if you meet certain thresholds. Roth, you pay taxes today for the promise of tax-free interest and withdrawals later in life. It's one of the best inventions from a Delaware senator ever. Look him up, Roth, the last good senator Delaware probably had. So more Roth options are going in for current employees. Those employees of small employers or self-employed people will have simple and SEP Roth options. Also, more 401ks have Roth components, and employees can elect either tax-free Roth in the future by paying taxes now, or 401k pre-tax dollars. It used to be that employer contributions, the match up to 3% in most cases, would go into the pre-tax dollars. And the new law will now allow employers and employees to elect to have those contributions, the match contributions from the employer, go into Roth accounts. And that means more Roth dollars for your retirement. And then finally, one change for those that are still paying off a student loan. Employers will be allowed to match student loan repayments by recognizing those as elective deferrals into their plans. Now again, that's up to the employer, and right now, student loan repayments are paused by the presidential executive order and a court challenge. So it may work out that in the future, if you're paying back a student loan, your employer will match it into your retirement savings. Speaking of those student loans and college tuitions, there's one other change here in the new law, and it relates to 529 funds. The new law allows you to take those excess 529 funds and transfer them with limits into a Roth IRA for the same beneficiary. Now, the 529 must be in existence for at least 15 years. Contributions from the last 5 years are not eligible. And the conversions are actually subject to the Roth contribution limits. So they're limited each year. And there's a maximum lifetime limit of $35,000. But again, it's a little way of moving anything that's parked into a 529 into your retirement savings in a Roth account. Now, there's another change for current employees I want to caution you about that I'm not going to highlight as one of the great ways this law is changing, and that is you'll be able to withdraw from your retirement plan without a 10% penalty for more reasons. It used to be that you had to keep it there until you were age 59 and a half, and there were a few exceptions, but that was it. If you withdrew earlier, you got a 10% penalty. And now there are additional reasons for natural disasters, health concerns, terminal illness, domestic abuse, personal financial emergencies up to a certain level. Now, you're allowed to withdraw the money without the 10% penalty for these cases, but you'll still have to pay ordinary income taxes on those amounts. A much better approach is to build up an emergency fund of your own and don't touch the retirement dollars for these emergencies. Now, let's move on to 3 changes for those that are approaching retirement. And there are big changes for these workers. Number 4 in the 9 ways is catch-up contributions for those age 50 and above will now be indexed with inflation beginning in 2024. They were always increased ever so sporadically by Congress. And if you look at a video that I made early in my channel, I highlighted the contribution amounts because I've always believed that adding to those contribution levels with catch-up contributions after your age 50 is very important. Pay down debt, build up a cash cushion, and max out retirement savings. Well, now that'll be easier to do because those contribution limits for catch-up will be indexed to inflation. Now, for instance, a $1,000 catch-up contribution is allowed on IRAs, and that dollar figure will go up over time. In a 401k, the catch-up contribution is $7,500, and again, that will go up over time. So that's a big plus for those that are approaching retirement and want to max out their retirement savings. Now, beginning in 2025, there will be an additional layer of catch-up contribution for those that are in ages 60 through 63. Don't ask me why those numbers are not 64, 65, and 66 too. But for those people in that bracket, they will be allowed to contribute with a catch-up contribution of $10,000 or 150% of the age 50 catch-up limit as that goes up with the index. Now, there's a caution here, and that's number 6 on the big changes. There's a requirement that the catch-up contributions must go into a Roth account if your salary is more than $145,000. So you and your tax consultant will have to figure out when those catch-up contributions make sense. And finally, let me highlight 3 final reasons of the 9 why Secure 2.0 will change your retirement, and these apply to those of us who are currently retired. And number 7 is that we will see later RMD ages. Now, Secure The original act in 2019 raised the RMD age from 70 and a half to 72. Well, Secure 2.0 now raises it further based on how old you are. For those of us born in the 50s, the RMD age will be 73. If you're born in 1960 or after, the RMD age will be 75. So that means there'll be more wiggle room for planning Roth conversions and tax planning between retirement and those RMD dates. The RMDs exist because it's Uncle Sam's way of making sure tax-deferred dollars eventually get taxed. There's another little quirk in here about inheriting a retirement account from your spouse. It used to be that if you had inherited an IRA, for instance, from your spouse, it was rolled into yours. And now with these different RMD ages, they added a little wrinkle. If the younger spouse dies, for instance, and she had a RMD age of 75, the older spouse could elect to, instead of rolling it into his IRA, treat it as if the spouse were still alive and start taking RMDs at the age the spouse would have been 75. It's a little quirk, and I don't know who stuck that in a bill, but oh well. Number 8 on the changes is a lessening of the penalty for missing an RMD. It used to be if you forgot to make an RMD, you were taxed at 50% of that RMD level, and it went to Uncle Sam. Now that penalty, that excise tax on a missed RMD, will go to 25% or 10% if you correct it in a timely manner. There's still some regulations to specify what timely means, but overall that means less chance of a very expensive mistake with your RMDs. Even a 10% penalty is not worth it. Just plan to take your RMDs if they're required. Finally, number 9, Secure 2.0 eliminates RMDs for Roth 401ks. There was a quirk in the old tax code that a Roth IRA had no RMDs, but a Roth 401k did. Now, most people simply rolled over the Roth 401k into a Roth IRA before that RMD age, and that's what I was planning to do. This law just makes that unnecessary. I'll probably go ahead and do it anyway to simplify my bookkeeping. Note that that change on Roth 401ks will take place in 2024. If you're due to take an RMD for a Roth 401k this year, you should probably roll it over before that RMD age. So those are my 9 ways that the Secure 2.0 will change your retirement. Now, there are a ton of other changes. In fact, my eyes were going blurry trying to read all of these things in the last month. I think it's called Secure because it's going to secure the jobs of financial planners, tax accountants, and IRS agents for quite some time. But I'll close with my standard warning. I am not a financial planner. I'm just a DIY retiree. So please take these as entertaining ideas from one educated consumer to another. Always do your own due diligence and seek out a professional if you need one. Thanks.